All right, picture this. You're so ticked off about a purchase, you fire off an angry email. But hold on, there's no internet, no computers, not even paper as we know it. You're in ancient Mesopotamia, 3,750 years ago.
That's right, and that's exactly what makes this discovery so fascinating. We're talking about the world's oldest customer complaint letter, a clay tablet from ancient Mesopotamia.
A clay tablet, wow.
Yeah, a real piece of history that shows just how much we might have underestimated the sophistication of ancient commerce. I mean, here in the cradle of civilization, where they were inventing writing and law, they also seem to have a pretty strong grasp on the importance of keeping customers happy.
That's wild. I always imagine ancient civilizations as being so focused on survival that things like customer service were kind of, well, non-existent.
It's easy to assume that, right? But this letter throws that assumption right out the window.
So tell me more about this letter. Who wrote it, and what were they so upset about?
Well, the letter was written by a fellow named Nani, and he was definitely not a happy camper. It seems he had purchased a shipment of copper from an merchant named Ia Nasai.
Copper, like the metal.
Exactly. Copper was a big deal back then, essential for making everything from tools and weapons to ornaments and even currency. So getting a bad batch of copper was no small matter.
I bet. So what exactly was Nanny's beef with this Ian Nasser guy?
Oh, Nani went into great detail, let me tell you. He claimed the copper wasn't the quality he was promised. He even accused Ian Nasser of being dishonest and trying to pull a fast one on him. And get this, he even mentions a servant of his who had to wait around for ages for the delivery. Talk about adding insult to injury.
Wow, he didn't hold back.
Not one bit. And that level of detail actually tells us a lot about Mesopotamian society at the time.
Like what?
Well, for one thing, Nanny's very specific complaints about the copper's flaws suggest there was a standardized system for assessing the quality of goods.
So it wasn't just a matter of this looks kind of off.
Nope. It was a sophisticated understanding of metallurgy, trade practices, and the importance of maintaining certain standards. Remember, Mesopotamia was a hub for trade. Copper was essential for their economy. Shoddy copper could disrupt entire supply chains.
Yeah, I can see how that would be a big problem.
Okay.
So this wasn't just about Nanny getting a refund, was it?
Exactly. It was about maintaining trust in the entire system. And there's another fascinating layer to this.
Oh, Melanie.
This letter wasn't just a personal rant between two people. It was a formal complaint, likely meant to be seen by others in the community.
Oh, so like he was putting ENS here on blast.
Pretty much. This suggests there were social mechanisms in place to hold merchants accountable for their actions.
Kind of like an ancient Yelp review gone viral.
Haha, in a way, yes. Reputation mattered a great deal for business, even back then. It makes you wonder what happened after this letter went public. Did Ian Essir try to make things right with Nanny, or did this turn into a major scandal that ruined his business?
Yeah, I'm dying to know.
Well, sadly, the sources don't tell us how this particular case ended.
Oh, bummer.
But even without knowing the outcome, the fact that the letter exists at all is pretty mind-blowing. It challenges us to rethink our assumptions about ancient civilizations. We often think of them as being so different from us, but here we see clear evidence that concepts like fair trade, accountability, and even consumer rights were deeply ingrained in their society.
It's incredible how one little play tablet can completely change our understanding of the past.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that history isn't just about grand narratives. It's about the everyday lives of people, their hopes, their frustrations, their desire for a fair deal, just like us. And who knows, maybe somewhere out there, buried beneath the sands of time, are other modern concerns waiting to be discovered. Ancient tweets, perhaps, or maybe even an early draft of the Magna Carta for online shoppers.
Now that's a thought. It really makes you wonder, what other surprises does history have in store for us?
I guess we'll have to keep digging to find out.
Well said. Well, folks, that wraps up our deep dive into the world's oldest customer complaint letter. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.